Hi, hope you're doing well, having a great day. I'm just going to make a couple of comments on this young boy, um, Ralph Yarl, who's 16, shot in the head. Must have been a graze because it sounds like he was not hospitalized for very long, but still it was a head wound. Went to a house to pick up, I believe it was his sister's, and went to the wrong house. There was a no soliciting sign above the doorbell. He went to the house at 10 p.m. and rang the doorbell, and I guess he said he was looking for his sisters. The man, who's 84, I'm going to show him, probably thought this was some sort of gang stunt, trying to get him out of the house or get him to open the door, unlock the door, and he shot the kid. Turned out the kid has no reported history of criminal activity in the past, but I'm going to kind of give it to this man. I don't think he was really in the wrong. He was in his mid-80s. He was answering the door at 10 p.m. Most seniors are asleep by 7 p.m., and they certainly don't want people ringing the doorbell after 7. And, who knows what his history is. He, being 84, he was probably involved in the military. He probably went through some wars, could have been the Vietnam War or something else. And he probably has a lot of apprehension when things are very unusual, and seeing a 16-year-old kid at his front door at 10 p.m. asking about some girls. So I think it's the parents' fault. I have a rule for babysitting. If this was a babysitter, clearly the kid didn't know her, but for babysitting, parent brings the kid to the babysitter, parent picks up the kid from the babysitter. If I were a babysitter and some 16-year-old male came up and said he was picking up some girls that I was babysitting, never, ever would I let those girls go out in the dark at 10 p.m. with some 16-year-old male. The parents have to come and pick up the kid. Now, it's clear the kid wasn't known by the babysitter. The kid didn't know the house. And the kid should have known immediately not to even ask for the girls, because he would have seen this elderly Caucasian man standing at the door. All he had to say was, "Oh, wrong house," and leave. But by hanging around asking stupid questions, the man got more and more suspicious and shot him, figuring that he was being set up for a robbery, maybe even later that night. It happens all the time. We have had in the past a lot of people getting shot in their home or around their home doing crazy things. We had Brianna, who was with her boyfriend. The police said he was involved in crime. We don't know anything about Brianna, but we assume she was not at all involved in the crime. She just happened to like this guy, and they busted in her house and killed her. Then we have the other man, another black man, who was in his own apartment, and a female police officer goes to the apartment. I guess the door's unlocked. She pulls out her gun and shoots him in his own apartment. And then she says, "Oh, I thought that was my apartment," which doesn't make any sense because his apartment would look totally different than her apartment. Different rugs, different couch, different lighting, different everything. So how in the world can that one fly? And we also have most recently, the police went to arrest a man. This was a white man. And he answered the door, and I think he had a weapon. Because it was at night, I believe, also. So he comes to the door with a weapon because he doesn't know who it is, I believe. And they see he has a weapon, and they shoot him. His wife screams. She comes to the door, grabs the weapon, and they shoot her. And guess what? They're at the wrong house. So when you have a kid and you are responsible for this kid, and a 16-year-old is still a kid, and you're sending him at 10 p.m. to a house he doesn't know, people he doesn't know, to pick up family members, first of all, they shouldn't release the kids to a 16-year-old male they don't know. And the adults are responsible for dropping off the kid and picking up the kid. There is no excuse for sending this young boy to do that duty. If mom was cooking, he could look after the food until she got back. There was no reason why she wasn't, or if it was dad who sent him, he wasn't able to pick up his own children. So this was all, to me, of poor parenting, problems, thinking things through, setting up the kid in a position where he's going to get injured, setting up the girls in a position where they could be injured, and putting the babysitter, the child care person, in a legally very tricky situation because she doesn't want to let these kids she's responsible for go out in the dark with this young man. So that's my feeling on it. I think that the person, the 85-year-old, had a normal senior's reaction at 85. That's what most seniors would do. If they had a gun, they'd shoot him. And if they didn't have a gun, they wouldn't open the door. But if you don't open the door, then they're more likely to break into your house thinking that nobody's home. It's a quagmire. What are you going to do? If you remain quiet and don't answer the door, then the young thugs think, okay, well, nobody's home. We'll just break in the windows, we'll go in, take what we want. You'd have to investigate. What kind of parents are these? Do they have any criminal history? You'd have to investigate the kid. Does he have any criminal history? You'd have to investigate the neighborhood. What kind of crimes are going on? Clearly, this man had a security system and a no solicitation sign, so that clearly means he wants to see no one at 10 p.m. The kid being sent to pick up the relatives should have had the phone number for the babysitter, should have been able to call the babysitter, say, I'm coming, and she should have turned on the lights for him. She should have greeted him at the door. The kid should have been ready to go. But seeing that he didn't even know the phone number for the babysitter and didn't seem to contact her that he was coming this late at night, everything sounds really, really strange and fishy. I don't trust this story. I think there's more to it. And so with the information that's out so far, I'm on the side of the senior citizen. He did what he needed to do. He felt he was in danger, and I think he had good reason to think so. I don't think it was race. I think he would have felt similarly if it was a black kid or a white kid. So it was just poor parenting, poor thinking, and putting everybody in danger. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I see it. What do you think? Bye.